The snowdrop is one of the most eagerly awaited flowers, signifying the end of British wintertime. As one of the first flowers of spring, it is associated with the promise of fresh beginnings. This is what occurred to Michael Richards in 1990 with the first thoughts of establishing his own business. After years of working in corporate environments, Michael wanted his own business to stand for something different, something fresh. As he saw it, HR was largely ignored and given a backseat in any software implementation decisions. Determined to change this, Michael set up Snowdrop Systems in 1991. Snowdrop rapidly became recognised as a leading solution provider and has kept its high profile ever since.
Well, when I set up Snowdrop, I was looking to provide business solutions rather than just systems to record data. There weren't really too many people around, I think 15 years ago, with the sort of background that I had in HR and in IT. And what I was trying to do was to look at the business problems rather than just produce some software.
Now employing 150 people based in 3 locations across the UK, Snowdrop has additional offices in Australia and Barcelona, supporting over 600 customers.
I think one of the most important factors, and probably the most distinguishing factor about Snowdrop, is very much our culture and the way we approach customers and the implementation of systems. These days, the system itself is very rarely the differentiating factor. It's really about how you approach the implementation and really engage with the customer and do far more than just deliver a system, but solve their problems.
Snowdrop's success has enabled it to expand its offering to incorporate not only payroll software and services, but also HR consultancy, full HR outsourcing, and online flexible benefits.
What surprised me the most about our business, I think, is the lack of surprises. I'm a real contingency planner, and I think a lot about business and try and come up with ways of solving problems before they arise. I think in general, if you are surprised in business too much, then you're not thinking and planning enough.
Snowdrop has developed the philosophy of ACE, always exceed customer expectations, which it believes to be a catalyst for successful and sustainable business relationships. This philosophy filters throughout the organisation, engendering a culture of supportive teamwork in all areas, from project management, training, consultancy and technical support, right through to the continuous product development process. Snowdrop keeps 95% of its customers year on year and won the CBI Customer Excellence Award in 2004. Snowdrop is also regularly listed in the Deloitte & Touche Technology Fast 50. Its attitude to employee support and development is exemplified through listings in the Sunday Times Best Companies to Work For in both 2004 and 2005. RDF Media Group is one of Britain's leading independent television production companies, producing popular shows such as Wife Swap, Location, Location, Location and Rock School. There are more than 600 people currently working for the group, which includes over 200 permanent staff and about 400 people on fixed-term contracts. Staffing levels at RDF can vary significantly, so RDF looked for an effective HR system to manage this.
RDF was on the cusp of going through lots of change. The company was expanding and we needed an HR system which was much more useful than the existing one, which was very old, kept crashing. If you needed to run a report, you had to go into major technobabble to get the script for the report, and even then you could only get very simple reports. The employee interface part of the system wasn't working at all. Most employees had just completely stopped using it. And all in all, the HR system was more of a hindrance than a help to the business. Well, we obviously looked around and beauty paraded a number of organisations. Snowdrop impressed us because it looked easy to use. It seemed very logical, very straightforward. The team who we talked to were very professional. They had a very can-do attitude and seemed very willing to work with us to build a system that we wanted to have. And we needed something that we could brand, particularly on the U-Access side. We needed something that would look and feel like an RDF website, and all of this seemed very possible with Snowdrop.
WSP Management Services is a provider of multidisciplinary skills and is active in a number of fields, from building, environment and consultancy through to transport and utility infrastructure. WSP is one of Europe's largest consultants, employing 2,500 people in the UK and approximately 6,000 people worldwide. By implementing a new HR system, WSP wanted to vastly improve its employee information, free up internal communication and reduce administration.
We had some very basic problems before we had the HR system. Something so simple as how many employees did WSP have in the UK and what offices were they based at. It would sometimes take us up to a month to go and ask each of the offices how many employees they had and what their main office was. By the time we got all that information back and put it together, it would be out of date because we tend to grow quite rapidly in some areas rather than others. When we chose Snowdrop as our supplier, they promised us an excellent service from their help desk and ongoing support, which they have certainly proved to be true. They have an excellent service where we can log issues online, which is very helpful for us, especially if we're out of hours. The staff that we speak to at Snowdrop help desk are always very, very friendly, and they get back to us within the agreed times for whatever our issue is, depending on the critical element of it. So on a day-to-day basis, they're very good at providing support.
The advice I'd give to people selecting HR systems would really be, first of all, to focus very much on the business objectives, to really have a good look at what you're trying to achieve, rather than just try and replace existing, perhaps not the best practices, or just to look for the prettiest systems.
One of the best things I find about working with Snowdrop is that when they tell us they're going to do something by a specific date, 99% of the time it is done by that date, and that really helps us immensely when we're implementing a system. It's just a godsend for making sure that the projects stick to our time schedule.
Looking forward to the future, Snowdrop's going to play a big role in helping us to manage the changes that are coming around the corner. The company is continuing to expand. We are adding a number of different companies to the group as a whole, and that's going to provide all sorts of challenges for HR, the management reporting, the management of employee data, and also on the EU Access front, being able to roll out an employee interface to all the new companies.
I see Snowdrop developing very much on the service side. We've been known as a software company for 15 years, but increasingly we're asked to do more and more, and what we're doing is solving problems for customers. What I really want is for Snowdrop to be the conduit for solving problems for all of our customers. We really do make a real effort to engage with clients, to deliver far more for them, and to really be part of their team in terms of delivering systems and solutions to problems.